listening to Tidbits. And what is this tidbit about?
National Cancer Awareness Day. Not many of us know that National Cancer Awareness Day, well, yes, in India, is on 7th November to raise awareness about cancer, promote its symptoms. There are many who have fought this battle and recovered victoriously. So it is also important to acknowledge the fact that we should be alert, get our checkups and vaccines on track so that we can prevent any sort of delay in its recovery process. As they say, prevention is better than cure. So we've spoken to a bunch of women who have closely witnessed such cases, and let's hear what they have to say about this disease and the battle.
Hello, my name is Priyanka Charan. I live in Mumbai and I am a theatre and film professional. I work as an actor, writer, director, and producer. I have had the good fortune of interacting with a lot of resilient, strong people who have survived cancer, especially some exemplary women in my family and in my field of work as well. My first experience was with a writer whose play I was performing, and just when I was hired to perform that piece, we found out that she would not be able to direct it because she was recovering from breast cancer. And just interacting with her and briefly working with her and watching her wage a battle along with her family was a life-changing experience, to say the least. My second close experience was with an aunt who still doesn't feel comfortable to call it cancer. She still calls it the C word. So you can see the kind of fear people have to grapple with when it comes to a certain illness and the fear of it coming back again. It is, to say the least, a life-altering experience.
Hi, this is Dr. Ankit Dedia, a cardiologist from Mumbai. I'm an interventional cardiologist by profession. Yes, I have come across cancer very closely. It has come to my aunt. She had a breast cancer on the left side around 4 years back, and it was a terrible experience. I should say, because it doesn't physically hamper you alone. It mentally also, psychologically, the patient and the family goes through a lot of stress.
OncoStem basically reports that breast cancer is the most common cancer in women in India. And breast cancer is the most common across cities and the second most in rural India. So it also accounts for 25% to 32% of female cancers in all cities in the country. And a woman is basically diagnosed with breast cancer every 4 minutes. Yes, these facts are extremely alarming.
I think any battle is half won when you are aware of its dangers, right? So obviously it is extremely important that we create awareness, especially living in an information age where we have so much access to things on health and on preventive measures. It's always better to have prevention over cure, right? So it's very important to understand very basic things like the importance of an alkaline body over an acidic one to avoid cancer if you possibly can. And there is obviously so much research going on what is the reason for cancer. Is it hereditary? Is it triggered by stress? Is it a lifestyle illness? How much of it can be avoided? And also the expense around it, the coping mechanism around it. So naturally, it is very important to be aware. And the best way of creating awareness is through gadgets that we use on an everyday basis. For example, when you use your cell phone, when you're accessing social media essentially plays a very, very important role in giving information to people. So I think how creatively we use our tools in helping people is what matters at the end of the day.
It is very important to create awareness because creating awareness is the key in finding out many of these cancer in their early stages. Like I said, in my aunt's case, we being from the medical background, we came to her diagnosis much earlier and hence her cancer was totally eradicated. And like there are certain cancers which can be picked up by just basic awareness to the patient and the family members. So it's very important for us to create awareness. I don't think women in our country or women or girls in our country would be aware of these vaccines that much. Very few, maybe less than 5% people would be knowing this. And definitely it has to be inculcated into our system and in our awareness programs should come up.
I personally feel that till the time you haven't had a scare in your family with a loved one, with a friend or maybe yourself, it's very rarely that we even consider cancer as a living threat. And when it comes to girls or women, we obviously have so many awareness campaigns going on. We have these really fun chains going on when around a particular date we put up a display image or a certain status update. What we don't realize is sometimes we do end up isolating a very big percentage of women in India who don't have access to such platforms. So when it comes to awareness on cervical cancer, for example, my closest encounter was when I had UTI and I went to a doctor and she said, "Oh, why don't you get this particular vaccination for prevention in future?" Now, until and unless you've had a close brush, like I mentioned, why would you even consider what cervical cancer is? And also, we are like a few privileged, educated people, I must say, who have first access to information as opposed to everyone else. Secondly, the vaccination is so expensive. I remember when I got it many years back, each injection cost close to 3,500 rupees and you have to get 3 of them. Now, how much information do women have on this? How much information do women have on the fact that the preventive vaccination for cervical cancer can help put out UTI? How much information do women have on vaccination in terms of where it can be accessed? Also, what is cervical cancer? When it comes to breast cancer, yes, of course, we have the pink ribbon movement and we have women putting up DPs and putting up these funky status messages. But do we have access to information in different languages and dialects across India?
That is very true. We should really focus on providing information across India in different languages and dialects to promote correct information and make the masses aware. So having said that, I think donating in cancer research and participating in cancer promoting activities should definitely be on our to-do list.
I have been a part of cancer awareness projects. I have been part in my medical days. I was a part of the cancer team. I have been doing chemotherapy. I have undergone training for oncology for almost a year, and where I was a part of a lot of cancer research as well as awareness programs. And I'll be happy to be a part of the same in the future as well.
Back in 2016, a very dear friend and colleague of mine got a grant from the Ministry of Culture to adapt a theatre piece on breast cancer by Louise Page into a Hindustani play. That was when I got closely involved with a performance on breast cancer where we did a lot of research and we made a theatre piece which was not only supposed to be entertaining but also delivering a message in order to hold people's attention. This was back in 2017. The theatre piece is called Turmali, which is about a 30-year-old's journey with breast cancer, discovering a lump, going through mastectomy, and the whole idea of her body being socially accepted, her own acceptance of herself, her relationships changing. So breast cancer is not just about any part of your body getting cancer and you recovering from it. When what it leads to is an overtly sexualized part of a woman's identity somewhere being altered when it goes through surgery, and a complete change in identity in the way society looks at women. So when it comes to my closest association with the project, this was quite a life-altering project. Also because in the third year of its running, I developed a lump in my breast and I had to get it checked, and I remember crying inconsolably out of the fear that I had possibly manifested this in my life by investing so much in this play. Thankfully, it turned out to be benign and I had to take medication to get rid of the lumps. But how many of us know that you can develop lumps due to hormonal changes just around your periods every year? And like by just doing a very simple test at home, you can detect that and you can prevent something severe happening to you or to a loved one. So that is where I think art comes in, and the power of what you are trying to do through a podcast or through a post or through stories. The power of media comes in.
It's time I find another hot topic to make you uncomfortable with. Catch the Tidbits podcast on Hauterfly every Wednesday.